Up next on Copycat Recipes, I'm going to show you how you can turn pork loin into a fabulous, easy to make dinner. Hi, this is Stephanie Manley with Copycat Recipes. Today I'm going to show you how you can make really easy baked pork loins. So often these pork loins go on sale at the grocery store for about $1.99 a pound. And I'm going to show you how you can add some cornflakes to this, pop these into the oven, and you're going to have a fabulous, easy to make dinner. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So I have one pork loin here, and I'm not going to use all of this. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this. I'm going to use some cornflakes here. And I'm also going to use a little bit of butter, because butter makes most things better, and a little bit of seasoned salt. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and crush up the cornflakes. Now this is a great recipe to use for when you have some cornflakes that may be going a little bit stale, or perhaps you're like me and you don't seal that package perfectly because these cornflakes are getting crisped up in the oven, so they're going to be good. So the next thing we need to do is kind of mash them up with a rolling pin. We want to kind of crush them up really nice and semi-fine. I like mine to be a little bit bigger, but I just love the flavor of cornflakes, so that's just me. So go ahead, give these a good whack. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the pork loin. I always like to pat meat a little bit dry first because I think it helps with cutting it. It's not so slippery and apt to get away from you, and no one likes a good old-fashioned knife incident. I like all my fingers completely intact. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim my pork loin in about 1/2 inch slices here. I think that makes for a really nice slice of meat. If you want, you could go a little bit larger, or you could even go a little bit thinner. Now I'm not using all of this in this particular recipe. This recipe is really nice and flexible. You could probably get about a good 8 slices out of this recipe. So let's talk about what we need to do next. I'm going to season the meat. Now I'm using a little bit of seasoned salt here. If you don't have seasoned salt, a little bit of salt and pepper right now would be great. I think it's always best to season right before you cook, so you don't have to try to compensate for it later. Now I have melted about 1 stick of butter, and I'm just going to dip the meat in there. Then I'm going to toss the meat into this bag with the crushed up cornflakes, and we're just going to roll it around and try to get it nice and coated. Now it's not going to get fully coated, but it's going to get pretty coated. And you can always toss on the extra cornflakes that you have left over. Just continue to do this with the rest of the meat in this pan. Now let me say one thing. Don't reuse the cornflakes and don't reuse the butter. That's for this time only. So go ahead and continue this with the rest of the batch. Put them in a 350-degree oven for about 35-40 minutes. And you're going to get this. It's wonderful. The cornflakes are so toasted. You can just smell them. They smell fantastic. I'm going to take a little bite right here. I don't know why I don't cook with cornflakes more often. They're just fantastic. This is very tender, nice buttery cornflakes. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe so you can see what's cooking next.